Hello. So this week we're going to go on a couple different stops along the journey. First I'm going to start by introducing you to the store and where I found the cap. If you wait till the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what I paid for it, and I'll tell you about the discounts they currently have. And I found that the shipping was extremely quick. Okay, so I'm going to cover the store where I purchased this because I got a great price, and I'll probably be going back for more caps in the future. Off to Brim's on 5th. Enjoy this portion.
Brim has been serving hat lovers since 2012. Brim on 5th is located at 464 East 5th Street in Dayton. It has become a distinctive destination for hat lovers in Dayton. That's the Oregon District in Dayton, Ohio, not the state of Oregon. Amelia O'Dad opened Brim in 2012. After moving from Boston, Amelia missed her neighborhood hat shop at helping inspire what became Brim. That simple idea became the foundation for Brim. Today, Brim stocks thousands of hats, including major brands, artisan makers, and hard-to-find European hatters. It's the kind of shop where traditional hat making and hard-to-find names all come together. One of the European cap makers represented at Brim is Belgium's City Sport, and that connection is what takes this week's episode from Dayton all the way to Belgium. The shop gave us the find. Now it's time to learn the story behind the maker. But finding the cap is only the beginning.
All right, hopefully you enjoyed that introduction into Brim's on 5th. Now we're going to make our way from Ohio all the way to Belgium to take a look inside, like I always do, the manufacturer. I love my heritage manufacturers. So travel with me to Belgium, where we go to see City Sport.
City Sport's story begins in Belgium in 1898 through generations of family leadership. The company grew across Europe, survived changing fashions, and experienced a major revival. More than 125 years later, City Sport's story begins in 1898 when Victor de Klerk and his wife, Marie Olivier, opened a cap workshop in Dieksmuid, Belgium. After Victor's death, Marie continued the business with their sons, Gerard and Raphael. By the mid-1930s, City Cap had become City Sport, establishing the name that continues today. In the 1930s, City Sport promoted its caps at major cycling events with its famous cap-topped car. After World War II, the third generation expanded the business across Western Europe. By the 1950s, City Sport had developed strong markets in France, the Netherlands, Germany, Italy, and Austria. The 1960s became City Sport's golden era, with around 100 employees and booming exports. In 1963, Prince Albert of Belgium visited the company, but by the late 1960s, changing hairstyles and increased automobile use were reducing demand for the traditional cap. In 1973, Daniel diversified the family business by launching a trouser line called Oliver. In the 1990s, Tom refocused on caps and revitalized City Sport, with sales eventually quadrupling. Today, City Sport continues making every cap in its own atelier in Ardoué, Belgium. Coming up, we'll see the 2024 introduction of the new owners. Then head on to the factory floor to watch these Belgian caps being made.
It saddened me to find out that 4 generations of family ownership is no longer.
City Sport is begonnen met de eerste generatie, Victor en Mary, die het lumineuze idee hadden om met restjes van stoffen petten te gaan maken. En dat gebeurde met thuiswerksters van Dieksmuiden. Er waren een aantal thuiswerksters. En later zijn ze dan begonnen met de productie in Ardooien, die dan beginnen boomen is toen Victor helaas op 42-jarige leeftijd overleden is en de 2 zonen snel in het bedrijf moesten komen. Dan hebben wij met dat oude materiaal proberen verleden en heden te linken met elkaar en dan is het in feite een successtory. De materialen van de petten die wij gebruiken, en daar is het ook een beetje onze heritage, proberen we nog altijd te halen uit Engeland. Daar heb je echt die vintage, traditionele stoffen zoals Donegal tweed in Ierland, Irish linen, Harris tweed, dat is ook echt beschermd. Die orb is beschermd, de hand geweven. Wij proberen die heritage en dat authentieke ook in onze collecties.
Roll, then you place it on the head from the back. Smooth it out a bit and then set it nicely at the front, about 1 centimeter above the eyebrow.
Arthur is already fully immersed in the world of these caps with the handmade Belgium label. The ready-to-wear workshop in Ardouilly has existed since 1898. 4 generations of the de Klerk family were at the helm, but now Tom is handing it over to the Coffey twin brothers from Isegem.
58, you do have plenty of space here, that's how I feel.
There is also a kind of meter at the control, and you can then do a random check. The most important thing was actually that the company continued to exist, whether that is now or in 5 years. Yes, okay, I might have liked to do it for a few more years, but yes, the decision was made. But it was really mentally quite a tough time to make that decision. I admit that.
Many of the 40 employees have been working here for 20 or 30 years. The takeover news was a bit of a shock, but they can all stay. Behind the Coffey brothers is a family with a lot of entrepreneurial experience, also in the garment industry.
It is still made here, and it is a product to be proud of from the region, and it is sold worldwide. Many famous people wear it, so it is actually an honor for us to be able to do this.
But there were also difficult years.
At the end of the 1960s, the hippie era, the rise of the car caused the whole cap story to take a very big dip. And fortunately, in the last 10 or 15 years, partly due to series like Peaky Blinders, partly due to media fashion, we have a bit of wind in our sails again.
If we may dream, now they are caps, maybe we can add some extra accessories like beautiful matching scarves or gloves.
And Tom will also remain a figurehead. Will you always keep wearing such a cap?
I certainly will, because my lush hair is also gone. So I will definitely keep wearing caps, rest assured.
enjoyed that video footage. I found that I do a deep dive on all my companies that I work with, and sometimes the companies themselves participate. You know, obviously some of the heritage companies do a better job than others. So now for the third leg of our journey, and what is in this package here? What pin would I have picked out and why? Enjoy the third portion of my video.
City Sport carries a Belgian tradition forward. Bethlehem carries a European Moravian tradition that crossed the Atlantic and took root in Pennsylvania. Two places thousands of miles apart, both with traditions that have endured for generations. Belgium gave the world the saxophone, created by Adolphe Sax, born in Dinant in 1814. In Bethlehem, Moravian organ builder David Tannenberg carried a European organ-building tradition into Pennsylvania and became one of early America's most important organ builders. Two places, two musical traditions, and a shared appreciation for craftsmanship that lasts. And the connections don't stop with music. Belgium is world famous for chocolate. In Brussels, Jean Nieuwhuis created the Belgian praline in 1912, helping establish a chocolate tradition known for craftsmanship and quality. Pennsylvania has a chocolate story of its own. In 1903, Milton Hershey began building his factory in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and the famous Hershey's Kiss followed in 1907. Now it's time to open the box and reveal my very first City Sport.
All right, ready for today's unboxing? I got this from Brim's on 5th. That is in Dayton, Ohio, but you know that from the video. At first, I thought it was in the Portland district, as in Portland, but it's not. So, I'm going to open this and give you a top-down view like I always do. If you're new to my channel, we've actually got two things today. I got a cap and a pin. This is the first time I'm doing this. I like one of these because you don't have to cut you have no chance of cutting the cap. See how nice and safe that was? Oops. Okay, I always start by pulling the box back. And once again, this is from Brim's on 5th. Looks nicely packed. These are just shipping labels. Nice return labels in case you have to return it. Thank you for shopping with Brim. Great choice and on sale. Yay. Enjoy. Chrissy. Thank you, Chrissy. Hopefully you people at Brim's and 5th watched the video. Thank you very much. Oh, what a wonderful card. Maybe I'll try to add that to the video. Ooh, got a sticker from my case. All right. As you know, I always keep the paper. I put this right here. Ooh. Oh boy. All right, so this is my first ever cap from City Sport. Ooh, nice amounts of paper. Just making sure there was nothing else in the box. Ooh. Thank you for buying this authentic handmade City Sport cap. Manufactured in Belgium since 1898. With the greatest care and keeping the family values alive. Victor de Klerk. There's a picture of Victor de Klerk. Beautiful Harris Tweed logo. Here's my size 60, right on the dot. Oh, I don't like this. Oh. Look at this color. Beautiful, nice thick brim. Is there anything better than Harris Tweed? City Sport. I mean, I know there's a lot out there, but I think Harris Tweed is my favorite. It has a ruggedness about it. I am just a sucker for material. I always say the material is a foundation of every cap. And City Sport uses top-notch material. You saw that in the videos. You know, I like the way they continue the pattern across the button. Every one of these independent cap manufacturers that I work with in the Iron Cup Challenge, they should really get these hats and study them. You can learn so much by just having them in your hands. Tremendous colors. spun this in my hand like 4 times already, and I can't find a single flaw. The pattern is perfect across every panel and is perfectly continuous across every seam. Another heritage brand that does an unbelievable job with the construction of the cap. All right, let's get this on the head. I want to see this on the head. All right, now we're down to business. Hopefully you enjoyed the cap. I'm very excited to get it open. The first thing I want to do with the cap is, you know, I got to be honest with you, the color doesn't look as bright as it does on the website. You know, that's obviously one of my first reactions as I'm sitting here analyzing the cap. But that is not the fault of City Sport. As far as the job City Sport did on this cap, you can see the colors are pretty nice for me. I mean, I really enjoy them. And the pattern is amazing. I'm going to talk about the construction of the cap right now. I love the seam lines. My initial reaction of the pattern continuity is tremendous. My initial reaction of carrying the patterns across the seams is spot on. And you know, I've said it a million times. I don't like patterns. But after the last few caps, I'm going to have to change that. I don't like patterns from companies that don't do patterns well. In the video, if you noticed in the City Sport, they sacrifice a lot of fabric when they're making their caps because of the precision cuts that they're making on the fabrics. And to me as a consumer, I would rather have my pattern caps matching. And obviously I know in my head, no matter what it really costs at the end of the day, I don't take cost into account. I literally, for the most part, I look at the cap, how it's made, and I judge it from that. And these heritage companies, they do probably, maybe they make patchworks out of those pieces or whatever. But even in the video, it shows how much extra fabric is around the cuts. So they make, it seems to me like they make the correct cuts, not the cheapest cuts. And as a consumer and as a collector of hats, I love that. And honestly, it's going to score much, much higher in my reviews when I go to rate these caps. Now, the inside has the Harris Tweed label that I showed you before. The brim has a fantastic construction. It is a nice, solid brim. This cap is extremely well made. Looks like it's tacked down here on the front, tack down here again, and I feel a little tack in the middle right here. So I got a tack here, and a tack there. You can't really see any under brim stitching. The material is just fabulous material, 100%. This is Harris Tweed. This is a removable button, which was covered under my friend Rob's, the Granite State Sasquatch, his review. This button can come off. I could show you that right there. Just for the meantime, I'm going to take it off and then maybe reposition it. So if you don't like the little City Sport pin, it's removable, which is also nice because look, they even give you a nice rubberized backer, which everyone prefers the rubberized backer. Now, the hat. The first thing I'm going to do with this hat is I'm going to put it on my scale. So, camera can come in kind of. We're going to see us turn it on. I just want to see how, if you remember when I was doing my linen episodes, the linens were ranging around 65. All right, that's zeroed. They were about 65 grams, a typical linen. The Borsalino and the Strakowski were a little lower. But let's see what this heavier cap weighs. Okay, so it's not exactly a heavyweight cap, but it has a nice general thickness. That is about the same size. That is about the same weight as one of my Strakowskis. I've measured my weighed my Strakowskis before, and it's roughly about the same weight. So weight's easy. We're done with my scale. This little scale comes in so handy. Now, this is, let's call it a Hatteras type design. This reminds me a lot of my Stetson. It also reminds me a lot of the Sturkowski Shelby. It's not overly voluptuous, you can see. I'm curious to see how this is going to look on my head. The material, I love the color. At first, you know, it is a little deceiving from the website because the website has it much brighter, which would have been beautiful. But at the same time, the patterns are lining up. The light blue is in there. And if you Google sapphire, I'll put the color strip up below. There are different shades of darkness in the sapphire blues. So I would say a couple of these colors are on the lighter side, a couple of these colors are on the darker side. I'll put up a color chart right here when I make the video. Hopefully the landscape that I'm doing today helps you guys. And this is an 8-panel, obviously 8-panel PK. You guys all know that by now. What I'm noticing now when I'm checking out these heritage brands compared to some of the other manufacturers or independent guys that I'm looking for is overall cap construction and what separates like the legends in the business from people that are just starting. And some of it is material thickness when you bring this all together. Right here, this is a new thing that I'm analyzing. There is no built-up material thickness here. It's very thin. I don't feel any fabric. I would say the expert stitching, and you saw the videos. Most of the people making these caps have, like they said, have been there 20, 30 years. This is what they do for a living, and just phenomenal. I don't see any construction flaws whatsoever. I mean, everything is great. So let's get this cap on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the cap I have on. It deserves an extra shout out again this week. Last week's linen episode, I tested every linen. Now, you could purchase this cap from James Mulligan up in the Boston area for less than $50, and that's shipped to your house. And I'll tell you what, I had a conversation with Jim over the week, so I'm updating you on something. The linen that tested off the charts, unbelievable, is actually a proprietary linen. So I don't have much information to show you, but I will say my gut instinct was right. There was something special and something unique about the linen. It tested off the charts. So maybe I'm gonna have to pick his brain some more, or I just take his proprietary answer as is. But I'm curious, as a person who loves caps and has ambitions of caps in the future, I want to know exactly what this linen is, Jim. Are we friends? Okay, so Mulligan gear, probably my most recommended cap for the summer, dollar-wise, test-wise, fit-wise, structure, and look at how well this cap is held up. I don't have a single complaint over the Mulligan for the most part. Time to try in the new cap. Oh wow, good fit. A lot of people are curious how these City Sports look and feel on your head. Wow. Are you Shelby fans for Sturkowski? Hopefully you can get the side profile. You can look at the top. Fits amazing. Feels like a nice, solid cap. I don't want to compare it to a Sturkowski, but it's in that quality. It's a really, really nice cap. Great job from City Sport. I don't know how I look. I could look ridiculous. Let me know down in the comment section. But I'll tell you what, I got my Dallas colors on. Got my shorts on. This blue cap matches. And I'll tell you what, I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely happy with this purchase. This is my first ever City Sport. Now, let's get to my pin. This is the first time I'm ever introducing you to a pin that I specifically picked out for the cap. Let's see what I got in this one. The big shocker. Obviously, you know it has something to do with my hometown because of part 3 of the video. I know you're all on the edge of your seats at home, so I'll try to speed this up. Paperwork. I see the pin. Oh. Oh, wow. I do believe, for me, I ended up picking the best pin. Like I said, there are so many correlations between the castles, the architecture, the music, the love of chocolate, the love of fashion, the love of design, the work ethic, and the many Europeans that settled in Pennsylvania even before our country was founded. Many of them came from the merchant areas of Europe. So a lot of correlations. Wow. This pin is even better in person. I found this on eBay. Let's try to put the pin on something you can really see. This has a metal back. I'm going to take that plastic one for myself, I think. I'm going to put this on here so the camera person can zoom in. This pin looks tremendous. I'm going to try to put it right about where the City Cap Sport was, or City Cap pin was. These nice ones, they're like more snug. And they don't poke your head. Initially started in Herrnhut, Germany area of Europe. How does the pin look? What do you think? Did I pick a good one? Do you like it? Do you like the cap? Do you have questions for me? Are you curious what we're going to do next week? I'll tell you all those things. Tremendous month planned. Iron Cap Challenge last week of the month, of course. Probably a hatter that a lot of you have not heard of. But I've been very impressed with his work, so I asked him to do the episode and he agreed. Next week, we're going to have Stetson, probably a Stetson to open. And I have more tremendous specials. So hopefully you enjoyed tonight's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll do my picture show and all that to wrap it up. And I'll see you next Friday. Thank you. Cisco, Cap Critic, on every single platform. If you like the video, do me a favor, hit the like button. Make sure your alerts, make sure you hit the alert button so you get all my latest content when it drops. And please, I'll tell you what, that like button, the smallest thing helps me out because it helps me beat the algorithms on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hopefully you appreciated this episode. This is my first City Sport cap. I love the pin. I love everything about it. I look pretty good in all my blue. And Cisco, Cap Critic, out.
Until next time, as always, be good to yourself.